Hey everybody, welcome to Cage My IQ. As always, I am your host D-Bake. Today I will be doing the UFC Vegas 32 DFS Picks show for you, which the headline matchup on this card will be Corey Sandhagen going up against TJ Dillashaw. I'm going to break down my six fighter picks for DraftKings for you guys. So keep an lookout for this because these are going to be some good picks for you. And let me get started. But before I get started, let me tell you guys about our merch on here on Cage My IQ. As you see below right here, this is our merch right there. All you got to do is go to www.fightersfirst.shop, scroll down to the Cage My IQ collection, click it, and then go and check out the three styles of our one shirt that we have on there. We have old school, normal, and vintage, and then we also have a hoodie out right there in the middle of the collection. So if you're a fan of the podcast and you're a fan of MMA, go grab one of our shirts or the hoodie. It's getting close to fall. Just support the show, grab it, and let us know what you think. And then we also have three sponsors on the show, but we'll get to that later on. But as always, this is Cage My IQ, the best place for MMA content. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. We're now part of the Fighters First network. So all you got to do is go to YouTube, put in @Fighters First, subscribe to the channel. Do us a favor, hit the like button on this video and give us a comment of what you think of my picks. And that would do us a long way with me continue to do this because this is something that I want to get started just to help all you fans that are supporting the Cage My IQ brand. But let's get started with the six fighter DFS picks for this Saturday. The first one is my long shot, but that is really cheap, but I think it will pay out in the end. It is Elise Reed, who's making her debut. Her price tag is $6,900, which is really cheap. I know everybody is on the Sergio Eubanks bandwagon, and then she has one of the highest price tags on here because of her background and the fact that Elise Reed has terrible takedown defense. But I think in this matchup, you could take the chance on DraftKings with Elise Reed because she's going to have a lot better striking, and if she could just defend any bit of the takedowns, I think that's going to be a big thing in this matchup because they're going to be fighting at flyweight. So Elise Reed is going to move up 2 weight classes to flyweight, and then Sergio Eubanks is actually moving down from bantamweight to flyweight in this matchup, and she's going to probably struggle to make weight. And if she just makes weight, I feel like it's going to be hard for her to do that, and she's going to come in already tired and drained from making the weight cut because she's already failed at making weight twice in the past for this. And I think that could benefit Elise Reed in where Eubanks is going to come in already drained, and then Reed will be able to just use her movement, get it going, try and defend a takedown, and then just throw strikes. And I think she could easily pull out a unanimous decision victory and get a pretty nice point total in that if she can keep the fight on the feet. And because she is so cheap, you can put money elsewhere on your six fighter pick lineup for this Saturday. But my first pick is Elise Reed at that $6,900 price tag. My next pick on my DFS picks for the Saturday is Punahele Sorinao, who is 8-0, and then he has an $8,200 price tag, and then his FPPF poor fight is 125.6. All but one of his wins in the UFC in his career are by first round knockout. So this was a really good bet for me in particular because I think that he's going to get that first round knockout over Brandon Allen. Brandon Allen is a really good clinch artist, and he's a guy that's going to try and clinch Soriano and keep him from hitting him because he's not going to want to stand and train with him. But at the end of the day, Soriano just finds a way to get a knockout. And if you get that first round knockout, that's a lot of points especially for the 8,200 price tag, considering all of his fights usually end in a first round knockout victory for him. And then, of course, you look at that 125.6 FPPF. That's very high. So I think this was a no-brainer to put on the fighter pick lineup for here, because as long as he gets a knockout, it's going to pay out good for you in the long run. So my second fighter on this pick lineup is Punahele Sorinao. My third pick in the match in this fighter pick lineup is Miranda Maverick. You got Miranda Maverick, who comes in at 11-2. Her price tag is $8,400, and then she averages 104.2 FPPF per fight. She has had 2 fights in the UFC so far. Her first one, she won by knockout, and then this past one, she won by basically unanimous decision, where she beat Jillian Robinson. She didn't get a knockout, but she had over 80 strikes and then 3 takedowns. So she has that ability to throw a lot of strikes at you, knock you out. But then if she can't knock you out, she has the ability to take you down and grind out. And she did it against a grappler, which is even better. So in the matchup, like it shows, she had 104.2 average for the 2 fights, and she's going up against a person, Macy Barber, who tends to not listen to her corner. She should be somebody that pressures her opponent and attacks them right in front of them. But lately, since the injury, she lost that fight because to Modafferi, and then she came in against Grasso in the first 2 rounds, and she was very hesitant to move forward, and she was basically shadow boxing in front of her, and Grasso was able to just hit her, take her down, clinch her, take her down again, and it wasn't until the 3rd round where she actually used her game plan, because she was already losing. So I feel like with that, Mason Barber is going to come in that same way, and I think Miranda Maverick's going to try and wrestle and take her down and do ground and pound on her, and then when she can't get it, she's going to put in a little bit of volume on her. And I feel like this is a matchup where she could get like 60 to 70 significant strikes and get 2 takedowns against Barber, and either win by 3rd round ground and pound or by decision. And even with that, she should still get in between that 80 to 110 points range, which for this 8,400 price tag would be really good, considering that it's the 3rd fighter on this fight tag. So the 3rd fighter I have on here is Miranda Maverick. My 4th fighter on my fight pick is Darrick Minner. He's coming in at 26-11. He has the $8,600 price tag, and he averages 83.1 FPPF per fight. This is one of my picks that I am very intrigued by. I think it's going to pan out in the end of it because of his background. He basically wins all of his fights by submission. He loves to go for the guillotine ever since he went to James Krause and has been training with him. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. One of them is by submission, and one of them is by decision. But in that decision, he had over 6 to 7 takedowns, and he had over 80 to 100 strikes, I believe, against Charles Rosa. And his gas tank looked really good at that. He didn't have any issues with the gas tank, and he just dominated that fight. And with that, like with his pass, it's up to his FPPF tremendously because of those 2 fights. And I feel like this is a matchup where he's going up against Elkins, who's an elder statesman. He's 38. He has a lot of scar tissue on him, and they call him the damage because he takes so much damage. So I think this is a matchup where Darrick Minner could take him down, do some damage, get him groggy, and then wind up winning by round 2 submission. And with that, you're going to get the price tags worth points-wise for it, because with submission and then the victory, that's really good, like I said. And I think this is a chance that I want to take on this card, because you need that person that can get a submission and get it for a decent price. So my 4th fighter on this is Darrick Minner with the $8,600 price tag. My 5th fighter on my pick lineup is Aspen Ladd. She comes in at 9-1 with the $8,900 price tag, and she averages 79.5 FPPF per fight. She's had off for the past 19 months, and she's coming in and she's going to be fighting Macy Chiasson, who is coming in with a win over Aspen Ladd's training partner, Miranda Maverick, who had just retired last week. This is a very risky pick for me because this fight could go either way. I'm choosing Aspen Ladd because she comes in and she pours in a lot of volume. That's why her price tag is at $8,900. She pours in a lot of volume. She's gritty. She can take you down. She's good with ground and pound. But the volume thing is the big key here. And then with Macy Chiasson, she's not going to want to stand up and take her time. She's going to want to grind out, get in front of you, and then she gets into too many messy fights and it puts her in bad situations. And the only reason she beat Renew is because Renew was coming in at that fight with a 3-fight losing streak, and she was just at the end because she's 44 years old. But this is Aspen Ladd's a woman that is entering her prime. Her only loss was a tough loss, which anybody would have had. But this just screams Aspen Ladd winning by knockout in round 2 or 3, I think. And then with the volume she's going to put in, it's going to pay out points-wise really well. So for my fifth person on my fight pick, I have Aspen Ladd with the price tag of $8,900. My last pick of this fight pick is my favorite one, and the person that I'm basically building around, other than Elise Reed, with this fight pick for UFC Vegas 32, and that is Adrian Yanez. He comes in at 13-3, and he has a high price tag of $9,000, and then his FPPF is 94.3. He's basically really good at his boxing. He's really quick, and then his movement, just like I said, is pristine. He comes at you with power, and then he's known for knocking people out, even when he's not trying to. In his last fight against Gustavo Lopez, he basically put a beating on him. He racked up volume, and then he finally knocked him out inside the distance, and it paid out really well for him. And I think in this matchup, it's not going to be any different for Adrian Yanez. For me, he has a pretty easy matchup, and he should dominate with the volume, and then he's going to knock out his opponent in round 1, in my opinion. And that's going to get him over that 100-point ratio right there, which is perfect for the $9,000 price tag. It's like with the $9,000 price tag, you're expecting him to get that. So for my last pick, I got Adrian Yanez getting over 100 points with the first round knockout to cover the price tag. So once again, in my picks, I got Elise Reed, I got Punahele Sorinao, I got Miranda Maverick, I got Darrick Minner, I got Aspen Ladd, and I got, finishing it out, I got Adrian Yanez. So go to DraftKings, use that lineup, let me know what you think, and then keep track of it. I'm going to keep track of it. I'll be back next week for the UFC Fight Night DFS for Uriah Hall versus Sean Strickland. That's going to be a very crazy lineup to have to put together with the card that they have on there right now. But hit the like button on this video. Let me know what you think. I am very confident about my picks, and I'm going to start doing this every week. But as always, this is Cage My IQ, the best place for MMA content. I'm going to give a shout out to my sponsors right here. 99 Jersey. Use promo code SportsBoxShow20 at checkout to receive 20% off your next purchase. We got Oddsjam. All you got to do is go to the link in the bio, click the link, sign up, and watch as you never lose a bet again. And we got High Tide Herbal. Use promo code CageMyIQ10 at checkout to receive 10% off your next purchase. High Tide Herbal is a company owned by athletes and coaches who specialize in speedy recovery. All the products have CBD oil in it. And then all you got to do is go to www.hightideherbal.com and put in the promo code so you can receive 10% off your next purchase. Once again, I'm your host, D-Bake of Cage My IQ, and this was the UFC Vegas 32 DFS Picks show. I hope you take my picks. I hope you let me know what you think and hit the like button. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I will talk to you guys later. See ya.